When I'm looking for cases, I would normally start by using the practitioner's textbooks and updates, and then from that I would go to the hard copies of the law reports which are referred to in the textbook.
If I want to check a case, I can find all the information I need online.
Generally, in between choosing online or printed version, I tend to mix between the two. I quite like the printed versions because it states the names of the cases on the front cover.
I find that I key in electronically where I think I want to be going, and then I find the material that I get electronically and I use it in hard copy form.
If I want to find a case by name, I go to the Cases Reported section of the Consolidated Index. There I find case names listed alphabetically, together with their citations. If the case postdates the most recent volume of the Consolidated Index, I check the Cases Reported section of the latest pink indexes, which I receive 3 times a year as part of my subscription to the weekly law reports.
If I want to check a case, I can find all the information I need online. Now, to find a case, I go onto one of the portals that are licensed to reproduce the official series reports. Depending on which portal I use, it might look like this or this. It appears on screen as if it's quite straightforward to use. If I want to find a case by name, I can type it into the search box and I just click the search button and I can get a set of results. They're usually ranked in order of relevance, showing names, citations, and the level at which each decision was made. Here, as you can see, the 2 hits that have been flagged as most relevant are the weekly law reports of the House of Lords decision and its subsequent republication in that year's volume of appeal cases.
To see if a yet more recent case has been reported, I go to the cumulative index of the latest edition of the weekly law reports. The latest index is at the front.
In preparation for the moots, it's not always convenient to go into a library. The ability to access the law reports online has definitely changed the way I've studied law.
Wherever I am, if I want to do some study, then I can just find the cases and the information, the journals that I need, and I generally find the online version very good and very helpful.
Imagine I'm going to be applying for an injunction and I want to check the House of Lords landmark decision in the American cyanamide, as reported in the appeal cases. I would click on the corresponding entry in the list, and there it is there. I can also use my browser to search for it, any individual words or phrases. Here, I'm going to search for the dictum of Lord Diplock, using my browser's search facility. I seem to remember him saying something about special factors. I had a hunch, and here it is.
If I'm researching something new or where I don't feel I'm completely comfortable in the area, I go online, look for my sources online, and then I go to hard materials.
In the old days, judges would insist on having the hard volumes produced in court, but as we're living in the 21st century, I'm allowed to produce the printout in court under paragraph 3.2 of Lord Wolfe's practice direction, 11th of January 2001. It's the same practice direction that says we have to cite the official law reports in preference to any other report.
If I want to find a case by subject matter, I go to the subject matter section of the Red Index. I look for the most applicable general subject heading, then I scan the subheadings under which catchwords of all the reported cases are set out, along with the case names and references to where they're reported. You can see from the catchwords what the critical issues were in a particular case. There is an equivalent subject matter section in the pink index too.
I can also search the law reports by subject matter. As you can see, searching by subject matter throws up a differently organised set of results.
I use LexisNexis and Westlaw and all the electronic databases. One thing I like about the business law reports is it has an electronic collection of the reports, and they're quite useful just for, as you say, for the broad scan, and then you can come down to the law reports in hard copy when you've focused your research. If
I'm looking for really up-to-the-minute cases, I click on the links to the latest weekly law report dailies. This brings me a list of cases. I click on the case name. This one looks interesting. I can also search by date or court or subject matter, depending on the heading. And there you have it.
If I want to see whether a particular case has been considered in a subsequent case, I look for it in the table of cases judicially considered. The red and pink indexes also contain cumulative tables of statutes, statutory instruments, and overseas and European Community enactments judicially considered.
Cases Judicially Considered. You just click on the tab here.
I think what's very useful now about new online databases is that they can tell you the cases that have mentioned or dealt with particular sections of a statute. So in either case, you're coming back to the law report.
In pupillage, a knowledge of your sources, where to find them, and then how to use them is extremely important.
Certainly as a pupil, you'd be berated for putting a bad report of a case into any bundle for court. If you hadn't put the weeklies in and it was reported in the weeklies, you would very much get in trouble with your pupil master. And I think that's basically because you can trust the ratio of a well-reported case.
It really makes a difference if you've got a reputation as a pupil who can do good research and draw on good resources.
I've received the weekly law reports for many years, and I've always been impressed by the way that they're immaculately reported and head-noted.
I think it's fair to say it's indispensable.
Indispensable.
In my view, the law reports are indispensable.